Have you ever seen a great wildlife moment about to happen, but when it does, your angle just isn't quite right to get the photos? A lot of time it's not about reacting to the moment, it's about being in the correct position before the moment happens. Welcome back to Tips Tuesday. Last week we started talking about our field techniques topics for this series, and we started with probably the most important one, and that is to be learning to be able to recognize and interpret wildlife behavior in front of you. And today we're going to build on that, the next logical progression in things, and that is to learn to position yourself appropriately so you can take full advantage of the wildlife behavior that's happening in front of you. Good wildlife photos often happen when you're able to, number one, interpret the behavior and also be able to set yourself up to get into position before that moment happens. This is what happens when you just shoot from where you first see the subject, and this is what it looks like when you take a moment to position yourself. In this instance, I saw the common grackle that was perched up in this dead snag in the marsh. I took a photo of it where I first saw it. After a few minutes, I was able to recognize that the birds were actually going down to a lower snag and checking out this one branch to nest in possibly. So I positioned myself so I could have a clear view of that location, and I waited. I positioned myself so the background was nice and far away, had some nice evergreens in the background, and it just allowed for a much more interesting photo. A key thing to think about with wildlife photography is understanding wildlife movement. And a lot of times wildlife move in pretty predictable fashions. And if you can position yourself ahead of where those animals are moving towards, you'll have a lot better encounters and you'll allow the animals to come towards you instead of constantly having to chase them, which usually leads to poor encounters and the wildlife moving away from you. An easy example of this is with waterfowl photography or shorebird photography. You can see kind of where they're headed on the water or on the shoreline when they're foraging. If you position yourself ahead of them, that allows the subjects to move naturally into the frame and you don't have to chase them. And this all comes down to thinking ahead, so preparing for what might happen in front of you. And that allows you to position yourself in a location that the animals may move into an open space, or they may move into better lighting, or position yourself so you can capture the bird as they're taking off and get the full sequence of it. And by being able to interpret where the animal is moving towards, what they're likely going to be doing, by setting yourself up ahead of time, it allows you not to chase the subject. The more you chase the subjects, the less control you have over the composition of your images. If you allow the subjects to come to a location where you've already kind of determined is a nice location to take photos, you'll be able to have much better compositions and encounters with the wildlife. Some other things to think about are the lighting and the wind directions, both of which can play a huge role in what your images look like. Depending on if you're photographing birds or mammals, it's important to have the wind either blowing towards you or at your back. A lot of times with birds, they're going to be facing into the wind, so understanding where the wind is coming from will allow you to have better chances of photographing actually the front sides of birds. If you want to have a nice fully lit subject, well then you might want to have the light at your back or your sides, so you have a nice lit subject. Otherwise, if you want to have a backlit subject, well, you're going to need to place the light source behind your subject. So there's 3 simple questions you can ask yourself when you're out in the field. When you locate a subject, think, where is that subject moving towards? Number 2, where can I position myself for a better photo? And number 3, can I allow that subject to come closer towards me so I don't have to chase that subject? These 2 concepts, learning to interpret and predict wildlife behavior, and then using that information to position yourself to get better images, are really the 2 main things that really start to elevate your photos that you take, moving you from just taking snapshots to actually being very intentional about the compositions in your photos. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing. I really appreciate all the support and all those who have subscribed watching this series. And as always, I also offer online mentorship programs where if you're trying to implement these topics and techniques but are just struggling, I do offer that. I have information down below in the description. Otherwise, that is it for this week's Tips Tuesday. I will see you again next week.